This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new YouTube video. Today we are talking about beginner camera setups. I get tons of emails, DMs, tweets, Facebook messages even asking me to recommend a great camera setup for beginners. People who are looking to take portraits for the first time, maybe you want to buy your first DSLR camera and you want something that isn't going to break the bank. So we're going to be actually shooting with the Canon EOS Rebel T5i today. This is a APS-C sensor, 18 megapixel camera. You can actually pick one of these up used for 300 to 350 bucks I've found on the internet. So it's a great bang for your buck camera. We're gonna be pairing that with the Canon 50mm 1.8 STM lens. So this combination actually together is less than $500. And for $500, you get actually a pretty great camera setup that you can use to take pretty nice portraits. So we're gonna be shooting with this camera setup. We're gonna be shooting some portraits of my friend Caroline. I'm gonna show you guys kind of like what this camera can do. We're gonna put it through its paces and see kind of how this camera holds up. So let's get started. So like I said, we were shooting some sunrise portraits in Malibu, Topanga Canyon area. What I want to stress though is that the reason I'm using this setup and I'm showing you guys in the first place is that you don't need an expensive camera setup to just get out there and take photos. I think it's, a common misconception that you need the crazy 1DXs and 5D Mark IVs of the world to take amazing photos. And the truth is you really don't. And I hope that this video kind of shows you guys that today. I was actually pleasantly surprised with this camera after we got shooting with it for a bit. Getting used to the smaller form factor was kind of interesting at first, but once I got the hang of that, shooting with this camera was pretty much a breeze. The ability to stop down to f1.8 on this 50mm lens and shoot with a nice shallow depth of field that we all know and love really helps to get a nice captivating portrait. I wouldn't really recommend shooting right at f1.8. I would say a sweet spot is more like f2.2 to f2.5 to make sure your photo is in focus. But once you nail that, the portraits actually look really nice. And for $500, this setup is a dream. I can't think of any other setup out there that is less than $500 and takes actual nice portraits at a 1.8 aperture. It's a steal. One thing to note that this camera is actually an APS-C sensor body versus like the full frame camera that we're filming on right now. So every lens that you put on this camera is gonna have a 1.6 times crop. So that 50mm lens is actually an 80mm lens. So keep that in mind if you want something that isn't so zoomed in. You might wanna invest in something like a 24mm lens or a 35mm lens. We actually shot with the 24-70 lens just for reference to show you guys kind of the difference between the 50mm and something more wide like a 24. So keep that in mind. So I shoot on the Canon 1DX Mark II with the 24-70mm lens, which is actually what I'm filming with right now. But I think that what I'm trying to stress to you guys here is that if you don't have an understanding of composition, you don't know how to compose your photos, you know how to like use light properly, you don't know how to use light to your advantage, how to balance it, how to use it for a nice portrait, and you don't understand color, how complementary colors work, how colors enhance other colors and they make the lighting look nice, you're not gonna be able to take amazing photos no matter what camera you have. So you might as well start with something cheap, affordable, and learn from there. Practice the basics, practice your understanding of photography in general, and then work your way up for the nice expensive gear that you might want right now. But for now, don't stress about owning that next piece of kit. Just really focus on your skills as a photographer and the rest will come. Hopefully this video shed some light on this great beginner camera setup and you guys learned that prioritizing the actual knowledge of photography over buying expensive gear in the first place will benefit you so much in the long run. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys comment down below, letting me know if you like this video or not, and let me know what camera setup you guys are using, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again to our sponsor, which is Squarespace, for sponsoring today's episode. If you are looking to create a custom website from scratch without all the coding and hassles that come with it, Squarespace is by far the best option out there to make a beautiful website. They have easy to use templates which make creating a beautiful theme that much easier, 24/7 customer support for all of your questions, and tons of customizable options to really make your website stand out. If you're interested in trying out Squarespace for yourself, go to squarespace.com/Samuel Elkins to get 10% off your first website or domain purchase. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.